it a bit, but you know,
all right,
you had to come out and do it anyway. Yeah, so FD.
This looks real. FD, is this a convention like first game kind of staged for this matchup?
It's neutral enough, right? I mean,
oh my god.
Okay.
That was filth, right?
I think that both of them can benefit from the other one not having platforms. Oh boy. Come on, Kalvar. Why didn't you just let me win? No, I think that this is a fine stage. It's more neutral than Yoshi's or Dreamland, obviously. Battlefield and FOD are also fine, I think.
Yeah, I would imagine Battlefield would have been a pretty good starting stage, right?
Yeah. It's neutral still. I mean, neither one can really make use of the top platform. I don't think so. That's like the main consideration with Battlefield, and maybe Kalvar feels like his edge guards will be better with Puff not being able to, you know,
go to platforms or something.
I don't really know if you can call it edge guarding, but maybe that's the idea.
I sometimes kind of like this stage against Puff as Sheik. I don't really know like what the thought process is as Marth, but with Sheik, I actually kind of like the fact that you could throw needles at the edge and actually threaten Puff when she's like lurking around that area.
Yeah, I think that Fox also likes the stage. I mean,
yeah.
Puff just not being able to land is. I think Zane actually counterpicks this against H-Box, if I'm not mistaken.
I think so too.
So,
yeah.
I mean, the horizontal space is nice, and then you know, it's not the highest ceiling, and being able to stay underneath Puff is a little bit easier if she can't just retreat to the platform. So
absolutely.
Other than that, honestly, I'm not really that familiar with the matchup. I know that there are like a ton of DI mix-ups that Marth has off of grab.
Yeah, from I think it's down throw, and given some DIs you can get a regrab, and given other DIs you can get like a tipper. Off of forward throw too, and there's there's sort of like a heat map for like which DIs end up being traps for the other grabs. It's pretty sick.
God, so.
Jeez.
I don't really know. Okay. Well, the things that I noticed about 2saint when I was playing him is that he really actually rarely grabs.
Really?
Yeah. I mean,
I was wondering about that because like when you were playing against him, we noticed that he didn't get very many rests for one thing, and that he didn't really land very much for tomahawks for another. So we were wondering if it was just like really like good awareness on your end, or whether he just like rolled out of the way when he was getting like too close and too dangerous.
Yeah. I mean, it's hard to tell because I think Puffs are just able to switch up their styles really drastically.
And this guy more than almost any other Puff, right?
Yeah, I think that 2saint does have like a lot of interesting ideas when it comes to like how to condition and how to sort of convince your opponent of what your game style is, and then switch it up as a win condition. I think that I noticed there were multiple sequences against him that I could just hold shield for like much longer than I would.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
2saint must be so happy about that right now.
Honestly, I think he might have been able to do the Sing edge guard into F smash and then not trade the damage, but he didn't die for it anyway.
Oh,
Kalvar.
How did he get the edge so quickly there? Do you know what he did before he grabbed the edge? Was it forward smash? It might have been. So there's...
Yeah.
So 2saint showed me this one setup where I think if you forward smash and then like either shield or hold like back or something, you just instantly snap to edge, and it clearly like it's paid off in spades here, right?
Yeah.
Kalvar, I think a little tilted and a little tilting right now. Go for the up tilts. This is crazy. It's been like 5 minutes. You wish you were in the arena right now, huh?
I mean, it's I tend to process my losses pretty calmly, to be honest.
Okay.
But yeah, as a competitor, don't you always?
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, definitely if he's about to get triple 3-stocked. But and he counterpicks Dreamland. This is maybe desperation.
Wait, Kalvar counterpick Dreamland?
Yeah, I mean 2saint isn't. It's not 2saint's counterpick.
What the heck?
Yeah. Okay. Let's see what he gets off this. I don't even. I don't even know if I can...
I'm just gonna try talking about like the interactions instead of like the counterpick here, but like I don't know. I feel like I've always felt that this is like a bit of a walling matchup for Marth, where his grabs are extremely powerful, can lead to like pretty refined punishes, but he's quite a glass cannon if he gets grabbed or otherwise gets like sent off stage. So when he has control, I think he could definitely go toe to toe with Puff, to the point where this was considered like a Marth favored matchup for quite a long time, right? Like for years and years.
Yeah, I think that it still might be considered a Marth favorite matchup. I mean, it reminds me of those long PPMD versus Armada sets where he would play Marth against Peach and just not let Armada in for like 5 straight minutes, right? And you kind of have to be disciplined enough. You obviously have some 2-piece combos and some
right
punishes, but most of the time, especially at this percent, it's like you're just looking for straight hits.
It's positional, right?
Hit with the tip of the sword, and a couple more of those is going to do it. Puff, on the other hand, yeah, is just looking to close the gap somehow. I mean, the thing that I
up maybe.
No, not on Dreamland.
Not
yet.
Dreamland.
Not
Oh
on
my
Dreamland.
gosh.
Yeah, but I mean that he kind of counterpicked himself, right? But he is doing fine here, and maybe this is sort of the.
Maybe this is the kind of thing where it's like, all right, if I know that there's gonna be a bunch more stages like this coming, let's just let's just let the Dreamland games roll.
Yeah, I mean it also might be like if I'm gonna lose, maybe I should just try everything. But
oh, okay.
I think.
Oh my God.
Okay, yeah, I mean that's kind of what he wants, right?
230% maybe.
Yeah, but that's fine. I mean, as Marth, you're not sweating that. I think.
Yeah.
If you take Puff to Dreamland, your intention was to do that. So he can't be upset with the game plan, I think.
Yeah. Absolutely.
I'm noticing that he's.
Up till rest.
I mean,
so good at mid percentages.
I'll say it, but we're not really going to get a chance to see it much. I will say that I think that Kalvar should be a little bit more grounded than he is in the matchup. He's chasing her into the air, and really what you want to do is shark Jig's landings and just make it so that she can't land comfortably. Look at him like in the air, and he's just getting hit out of it.
Yeah.
Once again, challenging top platform. He should just be on the ground, in my opinion. Just be on the ground dash dancing.
But like I feel like Puff can, I feel like she can like invade your space so easily with back airs, and just like chase you down until you run out of stage. Maybe that's like a little too surface level.
I mean, there's obviously counterplay, right? But I think that the idea is, if she's going to play above you, then you want to, yeah. So he should be
doing this more.
Yeah, but he should have been more willing to move forward there. I think it's pretty obvious overshoot, but I mean, this is just. I'm not even gonna get to. Yeah, I personally think that the dash dance on the ground is the best because Puff falls so slowly. So if she's willing to play the double jump game with you and use her mobility in the air, because she's more mobile in the air than she is on the ground, then it allows you to match her mobility in the air with your mobility on the ground. But if you put yourself in the air, you're just gonna lose the.
Oh my God! What the heck?
Shit!
What was that?
Oh,
what was that?
Shit!
No, dude, you gotta tell me. What the hell was that?
I think that was a sing. I think that he upbeat it. I think that he like upbeat canceled.
So this is like the Link upbeat.
Yeah, I believe so.
But this is the Jigglypuff version of it.
I believe that was the Jigglypuff version of it. I mean, chat, feel free to correct me if
is Jigglypuff? Are there more layers to this demon that we haven't even fully fleshed out? This is insane.
Yeah, I mean, look,
he just destroyed like Kalvar at least twice with that.
Yeah, that was
utter filth. If that exactly was what he was going for.
I mean, that entire set was utter filth.
I think functionally the first 2 games were over within 4 minutes, right?
Yeah.
And the last game.
I'm pretty sure the hand warmer took longer than the games.
Jeez. All right, like 2saint's nuts.
I've got 2saint here. Would you mind talking to him for a little bit?
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, sure.
All right. Awesome.
Yeah.
It was really nice talking to you, Joyboy.
Yeah.
And obviously, Joyboy here got 3rd. Super awesome. And
peace out, chat. I'll be back. I'll be back for this one.
You heard it. Joyboy will be back. Saint, how's it going?
Hi guys. It's going good. You know, funny enough, before grand finals, I actually lost my controller and I was scared.
What?
Yeah.
You lost your controller?
Yeah.
So get this, Joyboy's playing. Like he got 3rd at this tournament today on a controller that he borrowed from G-Town that he's played on for 2 days.
Wow.
His controller broke, and this was like the backup of backups.
And I wasn't even seeing any like technical flubs.
I don't think so either. Yeah, I think he was playing like really freaking well. So I think it's kind of awesome. Now, Jesse here, not a big fan of Marth as a concept.
Don't worry, guys. I'll keep shutting down the Marths.
Oh man, so I gotta ask. We noticed a few times like against Kalvar you got it twice, but there were moments where you just instantly grab the edge. We speculated that it's like the link up B where you dash toward the edge with some momentum and then instantly grab it. Is that what you ended up getting?
That's how I do it all the time. I actually invented a method where you don't actually need sync notches to do it, because
What?
yeah, you can just run. When you start running, if you start tilting your controller slightly up, you'll notice that Puff is running a lot slower, and that means that you're doing it right, and you can just press B, and then she'll sing.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
That is insane.
Yeah.
Can we come up with a name for it? The 2-drop.
The 2-drop?
The 2-drop? I like that a lot. Yeah, I like that. Okay, you heard it here. Birth of a new tech, right?
Yeah. I am really the only one who kind of does it, like, a lot in bracket, so I guess we could call it the 2-drop.
I like the sound of that.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I think the way you used it against Kalvar was devastating. Like, the first time I saw it, like, on Yoshi's, like, Rhodes and I were both like, wait, what? He just grabbed the edge. That's...
Wait, by the way, is the camera on us, or we're looking at...
I think we're still looking at venue. Tom, if you can hear us, can you actually toggle... can you toggle the movie so it's on us? I can ask him. Give me 1 second. Oh, I'm sorry.
Oh, so I'm reading chat right now. Thank you so much, guys, for the support. Thank you, Rishi. Thank you, Badger. Thank you, just everyone. You guys are all great.
Now you can actually see us, right?
Now, okay, it's on. Okay,
I think it was on.
it is on. Okay, apparently it was on, but we just can't see it.
Why can't we see it?
I don't know. I have no idea. It's weird.
Just on one more time.
Sorry that we couldn't keep the games competitive for grand finals, but me and Kalvar, we were just like really nervous in our previous set and winners. He was playing like good, but I was just clutching. Oh, there's the camera. But yeah, I just kind of clutched it out in winners finals. Yeah, it was so weird. I don't know what to say.
G-Sound, in addition to being the master TO, also knows a thing or two about how to manage a stream well.
I love Tom so much. Like, Tom is my favorite TO, hands down. I'm sorry, Hacks, but
yeah, I think it would not be like hyperbole to say that New England as a scene would not even be close to where it is today without like.
Not at all. He really carries the scene on his back. And, we're all riding. We enjoy the ride.
Yeah,
we show support to Tom.
Deeply appreciative. I don't think anyone I think every single state in New England really has seen what Tom has done for them.
Yeah. Me and Tom are actually good friends. We talk a lot, and I'm just so proud of him for always running these very successful tournaments.
Absolutely.
Most successful tournaments I've seen in any region, like consistently. Like he's hosting a tournament, you can guarantee people are going to be there, and the pot will be nice.
Joe Boy heading out. Considerably shorter drive than 3 hours on your end.
Yeah, but at least I'm going home a winner. So yeah.
Yeah.
I don't have to
for an unbelievably stacked tournament, no less, with
yeah,
crazy ups and downs.
I was scared. I thought I would get upsetted because everyone else was, and I was just like, maybe that's the vibe for today. Like everyone's just gonna lose. You know what I mean?
Yeah. It felt like a very dangerous tournament today.
Yeah.
I felt like there were so many sets that literally came down to one stock or one interaction even, and just a lot of there's so many sets that felt like literal coin flips.
Yeah, for real.
You could look at it before, you could predict it, and then any result that happened, you were like, okay, this was within this was within the realm of possibility, right? So
I think the most interesting set was well, not the most interesting, but I thought it was interesting that Doc Lobster versus Kalvar. The last stock, I think it determined the whole set.
The last stock of the first game.
Yeah,
you think so?
We went to Zelda, and then
right.
Kalvar Meteor canceled it, the down air, and lived. And
crazy. And then Doc Lob threatened to fight him, and then went off stage to transform, and then died.
Yeah, and just died.
But that was such you're right. It was such a turning point in terms of the momentum, because that's the kind of thing where it's if you get away with it, you can.
Yeah.
emotionally leave lingering damage, like
Exactly.
going
Yeah.
into the next set. You're like, oh god, if I only didn't. If
See,
I
but
only
the
didn't.
thing is, I think the thing about Dr. Lobster, he should definitely just stay Zelda
I think so too.
and just use the down
Like
smash.
just get a neutral win, and then like because you're so disadvantaged at that point to begin with that if you're in neutral playing a worse character,
Yeah.
you can at least like move around and like.
If you need to run off stage.
Especially because Marth was on the edge too.
Yeah.
So it wasn't like he was in like a particularly bad spot, but taking the initiative to run off stage at like 160
Yeah.
to transform to just not grab the ledge, I think was, you know, in retrospect, it was a little
Yeah, it was a little.
like, yeah.
You know, sometimes you gotta believe in yourself. You know, sometimes you gotta believe.
Sometimes you gotta believe in in your worst move, right?
Yeah, it's like fuck it.
Yeah. So out of curiosity, for this tournament, you won Mass Madness from winner's side,
I
which
don't
is
think, I don't think I've lost one, to be honest. I don't think I've came here and lost.
you haven't come here and lost.
No.
That's extremely impressive. That's awesome.
Yeah, it's always a big win for me when I come here.
Yeah, well, this is like a 95-man tournament. Like,
Yeah.
how many tournaments like this might be like the biggest tournament, like the biggest regional like going on this month. Like, there aren't that many tournaments that pull numbers like close to
Not
100.
at all. That's why I love Tom so much.
What kind of numbers does Hacks get at a nightclub?
It's capped at
64?
so it can
Yeah.
never go past 64.
That's still like incredible. Like the
Yeah,
fact that
it's
they're
huge.
doing 64
On Wednesdays, every Wednesday.
weeklies. That's
Yeah.
incredible. So, say what you will about like Nintendo never like supporting the melee scene or anything, but people are still like going to crazy lengths growing the scene. I was talking to Smuckers, and he was saying like, given how much time and energy Hacks has put into growing the New York scene, it's insane how you can still like ascend to newer heights as like a
Yeah.
competitor, no less. So, just like the passion that people have for the scene, it's so clearly visible, and you can, I mean, we really appreciate we reap the rewards of other people's like labors, but it's incredible. So, I also wanted to ask you, like, what were some of like the most like noteworthy sets and interactions that you faced today, playing against New England's finest?
I think today I was really impressed by the sets that I played off stream.
Maybe against Dimension?
Dimension for and a Sheik player, I forget her name. It's
Maybe Tori?
No,
Bonfire?
it's not Tori. I don't know the story. She's ranked in New Hampshire. I know that, like 9, I think. But I was super impressed by her. She was like just moving and grooving, not scared to like straight up fight Puff with Sheik.
Nice.
I was shocked. She's grabbing me every time, even though I'm crouching.
Was it Guillotine?
Yeah.
So
I think it was good.
So
yeah.
Guillotine. Oh yeah, you would have fought Guillotine in winners, on top side. Because I know Guillotine, Woodcutting, Bonfire, and I were, and Dr. Lobster were like the representing Sheiks at this tournament. Like, I think some of us made it to bracket. It was, anyway, it was. Yeah. So I guess you were really impressed with like decision making and also like.
It was top level decisions she was making.
Yeah.
And the other Marth, Guillotine was making top level decisions too.
Dimension.
Sorry.
Dimension.
But I can still see the lack of like tournament experience of playing against like when you're playing well against somebody considered better than you, and then you don't keep it up.
Yeah.
Because like I don't know, like last stock you just flub or something.
It's tough, you know.
See you
Hey.
later.
First time we've seen Zoso in a while, but the Rhode Island card taking off. It's really nice to see you, man.
Later, Goose.
All right, see you guys.
Yeah, so those sets they really impressed me. Next sets were, I think the next set I played against was a Falco. I forget his name. Big Joy?
Big Joig. Yeah.
Joy? Yeah.
Yeah, I think currently unofficially considered the best player in Massachusetts.
Yeah.
I played against him a bunch too. Like, oh man, I played against him for 2 hours.
He's fun to play against.
He's super fun, and he'll go over crazy stuff. But it was kind of bad because we ended up having to play in bracket. So we were both like super attuned to one another at that point already. So
Wait, you had to play him in
I had to
bracket?
play in bracket.
Oh my god, who won?
He won 3-2, but I have to say I got sunned in the last game. He took me to FD, and as it turns out, laser in place is really hard to deal with sometimes.
It is, yeah.
If you play a character who's like gated by gravity, so not Peach and not Puff, laser in place is devastating, I feel.
It is.
Yeah. So, anyway, I think I really like thought the character representation of this tournament was like kind of incredible. The one thing that I have noticed is that there's actually a really big power vacuum in New England for Peach. So I haven't been like, maybe you see like a few more Peaches in Tri-State, definitely with Ryobi, right?
Yeah.
But like I've noticed
Evolve.
that like a lot of Peaches I think are either like doing other stuff or like retiring or like I have like Lod's in med school right now, and like Armada obviously has gigantic shoes to fill.
Mm.
But I don't know. I've kind of noticed that like there haven't been that many like super high level like Peaches breaking into the scene recently. Maybe I'm wrong.
I think Peach is just the hard character to play,
Yeah.
especially in this meta. We got a lot more Puffs nowadays. We got a lot more Sheiks. We got a lot of Marths. But
The
Peach,
Foxes are like getting better and better too.
yeah.
Right?
There's just no like. Peach doesn't really have like a great niche matchup that everyone says, oh yeah, she wins it like free besides Ice Climbers.
And you know what? Yeah, because like now that wobbling is it's becoming more common for wobbling to be banned, it further trivializes that matchup.
Yeah. The thing is, like, Peach is like an amazing character.
She's like particularly good against usually Falco, people say, and like
Yeah.
and
I think she does fairly well against Puff. I will
Fairly
die. I
well.
will die on this hill. Yeah.
really
Yeah.
some Peaches I know like consider that to be the worst matchup for Puff.
I think the
For Peach rather.
They just hear Armada, hate on the matchup, and then like that's just it.
I think Robbie thinks the same thing though.
Ryby does think the same thing. He thinks Peach loses, but he doesn't think it's unwinnable.
I see.
But I don't really know what other Peach like. Triff is also
Absolutely.
a Puff.
And Polish, I think,
winner.
recently inducted in top 100. I think.
Wait,
Yeah.
who?
Polish.
Polish is now. Yeah, he had a
Super
crazy
sick.
SmashCon run. But I'm not saying like Puff like doesn't win it. Puff definitely wins it. But I just think it's like not. I don't think it's that terrible.
Have you? How do you feel about the more recent discussions of like Puff Fox being like pretty much even?
It feels even sometimes, and then sometimes I don't know what to do. But I don't think if I have like a losing matchup, I kind of don't care if it's a losing matchup.
Yeah, I actually feel like a lot of the times like matchups you could theory craft matchups to like work out one
Yeah.
way, but in practice like some matchups like kind of don't work that way.
Yeah.
Like, cause I think a pretty good example of that is like Pikachu Marth or something. People will say, oh, Marth like destroys Pikachu and Pikachu can never get in, right? But
Yeah.
like you could say that, but then in practice you see games where like it's like Axe playing like PBU or something, and there'll be games where like PBU does like 700%, Axe does 350, and Axe wins. And you're like, okay, like all the theory craft like that you could develop, it's meaningful and it informs like how you play. But in practice, like sometimes you just get like back thrown and killed. You know?
Yeah.
So
I mean, people theory craft this stuff, right? But they don't actually do it in bracket like at all. Like they don't even go for it.
yeah. Or if you do, like it has to be like extremely well practiced and like I don't know. Preparation's definitely useful, but
I mean, with some people too, like you don't even see it in their friendlies that they're even trying to perform these difficult moves that are meta defining or supposed to be the new meta. Like that's something I always try to implement in my play is to always just go for like the new thing in friendlies at least.
the newest things.
Yeah, the newest things because if I keep up to date, everyone else is not keeping up to date, then I'm out here.
It's like an arms race, right?
exactly.
Like, I remember when like shield dropping was like the big arms race, where once like Amsa and Plop really showcased it, everyone realized like, oh, this is really good, really applicable,
And then we made it easy to do.
and we made it easy to do, and like, but that definitely felt like an arms race, like
That was
how
definitely
you
an
did
arms
it, how
race.
quickly you learned it, etc.
But now it's actually a trap for like lower level players. All they
Is
do
that too many people shield drop?
They just shield drop, and I'm like, I'm just aiming my back air for like below the platform.
Exactly,
Like,
because
yeah.
like if you're on a platform and people are like shield dropping all the time, you could just like moves don't come out on frame 1 for
Yeah,
the most part. Most aerials
exactly.
don't. People choose good aerials that have like pretty big range, and for the most part, those take a few frames to come out. So you could just like throw out an aerial for where they would descend to, and it just
Exactly.
hits them every single time.
every single time.
I agree. Yeah, so I think it's like a bit of a crutch, and I think people's platform game, weirdly enough, it used to be more complex when they were just like sliding around and dropping through.
Yeah.
Like people actually look more into the
Hungrybox still
mix-ups.
does that, which
Yeah,
is like
it's good.
he I think he's like kind of one of the few players that kind of utilize everything. He uses shield
great.
drops, the fault, like the waveland off, the just regular fall through. Regular fall through is actually really good at Puff because that's the only way you can really get an up air. But Back to the arms race topic though, like if you look at Zane, he's actually one of the only Marths that actually implemented like every new morph tech.
Wow, yeah.
Invented new morph tech.
You know, and I think people who are like not afraid of learning the new hard niche stuff, those are the people who are making waves. Like, I mean, the first person who comes to mind for me is Ryobeat, where I've heard about like some of his views about like Peach. He actually thinks Armada's style for Peach is pretty basic. Like Armada does like all the the relatively easy stuff, but he's so good at what he's chosen to master that's like that's
There's
what
nothing
he
wrong
represents.
with that.
There's nothing wrong with that. But Ryobeat actually goes for like a lot of like the new stuff, like the stuff that other people aren't really even aware of in this arms race. So I don't know the name of it, but like there's a way that he can do like a turnip drop out of double jump, I think, from his shield. Do you know the name of it?
I think he calls it Q drop or something.
Q dropping, yeah. So that's something that like people definitely haven't been working on very much until very recently.
He's the only one.
And he also does something called like a sub float, where rather than floating at like the immediate jump level, you can actually get a lower float than even that, and you can get like certain edge guards and setups that way. That's freaking awesome, you know?
And I feel like it's kind of recent that Ryobeat's been doing the arms race thing.
Yeah.
Like I kind of recall it was like kind of either 1 year or 2 years ago he really started like posting in the Peach R&D group talking about tech skill, etc. And then ever since then he's been more of a threat in the region and just like in the world. Like
Yeah.
he's really mastering his stuff, and I really respect him.
Yeah, because like once you get better with your character and you like kind of bring a technology out to the open, then you're sort of like you're also like bringing this wealth of information to like every other person who could utilize it like for your character and whatnot.
Also, I gotta bring up too that Zane didn't invent edge canceling, but he made it like a thing.
Yeah, for Marth especially, right?
For everyone.
For everyone.
I think everyone just started doing it when he just started doing it.
When Zane started like popularizing edge cancels.
Yeah, if you go back, so when we were all considered bad, I used to watch Zane a lot because like I thought he was super interesting. He was the only Marth I've ever seen just like straight up edge canceling over and over. Like I'd never seen that before, and it's so fast. And I just kind of copied it with my puff. I just try to edge cancel all the time, and that's why my aerial movement's like really good.
Yeah.
And I don't know, I just never seen it until like he became really good. Yeah.
And it's sort of like the kind of thing where like you can be aware of something existing, but it's not until you see like footage of something being utilized in a really refined manner that it really makes the case for you wanting to learn it and to master it, you know?
Yeah.
Because I think people knew about shield dropping for like a really long time too, since like maybe 2006 or something. But it wasn't until people started seeing like very like strategic
ways to do it
and dramatic ways of doing it that people were like, oh my god, this is the truth, right? Yeah, it's really interesting. So pretty much, if there's tech that you're sitting on that you think is like really good, make it yours. Make it yours. Absolutely.
There's so
and
much
there's
tech in
like,
this game.
and you know, I think that's actually super sick because like, you know, I think people really try to optimize melee, but actually at the end of the day, there's like, you get to really define like what you want to work on.
Yeah,
you know?
exactly.
Like you can play a bunch of characters and like synthesize like your style from like a bunch of them. Like one thing I synthesized from like playing Sam is like I do hugs jabs on a bunch of my characters, and it's actually pretty good.
It is.
If you play like Falco or something, like being able to do jabs against someone's like shield, especially if you're behind them. Oh, how are they gonna get out of that?
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. So I think it's pretty sick, and you know, there's
I do
almost
hug jabs too.
there's almost more tech that's available than you can't master everything, but you can try.
You can try.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Put some points in one thing, put some points in another, and then work on the arms race.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, and I guess today we
We seen it with my 2 drops.
the 2 drop.
Dude, I was killing so much with
Oh my
that.
gosh.
So much.
I think people have to write it with like the 2 drop, right?
Yeah.
I think
The
it's
number
sick.
2 drop.
Oh my god, man, that's such a good ring to it. I'm glad glad we broached this topic. So.
The Puff R&D group's gonna be like, it's already invented. all right.
have you heard about the? Oh god, this is stupid. But have you heard of side jumping before?
Side jumping? I feel like I definitely have.
It's mega troll. So this is like a duty side tech where like
Oh my god.
where I think in 2007 or something he posted on Smashboards talking about side jumping, and the way it works is as Jigglypuff, you double jump off stage and then you double jump back onto the stage, and that's side jumping. but at that point it's just like, dude, that's just double jumping, man.
That's
like,
actually really funny.
it's like no, Mucha King side jump too. I invented it first. It was like, it's It's just double jumping.
Yeah, just double jumping back into stage. That's mine. Oh my god.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's wrap it up. We gotta get out.
All right, yeah, you got 3 more hours to go. Thank you so much for coming out here. It's always nice to hang out with you.
For real, I love talking to you, man.
Yeah, you know, like I feel like things are super positive right now, like
Yeah,
in the Melee community.
for
We don't really have like this is such a good positive like event. It was freaking awesome. People didn't really get salty. There's a lot of respect, a lot of love, a lot of camaraderie. So yeah, thank you for making it out. And I guess I'll see what's coming up on the docket for you.
GamerCon CT and
That's right. Pound perhaps.
Pound.
Not pounded. Oh, pound.
Let's go. And
Yeah.
then Gommel.
Gommel. Nice.
I have my eyes on Pound.
On pound
I want to win.
because it's a
I want to win.
2saint for pound. Heard it here first. Probably because the name is also Jigglypuff centric.
It is.
Yeah,
Yeah.
maybe it's destiny.
I don't know. I really want to win that one because it has a lot of history. I want to.
Yeah, pound is freaking awesome too. One of the best nationals period, I think.
It was honestly a great time there, even though it was like Pound underground.
Yeah,
it was
that's
different.
right. Yeah, I'll see you at Pound. I'm going to that. Gommel, I think, is in Toronto.
Yeah.
I went to that once, like in around 2015 or so.
I'm rooming with None.
With
apparently.
None?
Yeah.
Nice. That's
So
awesome.
Hopefully we stream.
Yeah. Are you guys teaming?
I don't think we are. No. We have a bad experience team. Well, we didn't actually team, but like so we were gonna team for like DreamHack Montreal, and then like I totally forgot that team was a format.
Was not a format team.
Even though we signed up.
Really?
Yeah, I forgot. I just like went to school and I just studied. I went to bed. I woke up and he was just like, "Dude, where are you at?" I'm gonna unfollow you on Twitter now. I was like, "All right, fine.
Oh my
I'm sorry."
The nonsense sense of humor is so funny.
He's hilarious.
He's really funny, but I feel like people don't really know that about him because he's like so stone faced.
He's really smart too.
Yeah.
He's like
Absolutely.
really. He like when I was coming up, like French top 100 player. He gave me a lot of advice. Like,
Yeah,
a lot
yeah.
of advice. Like,
Yeah.
Like he was probably one of the first top players to really like talk to me, like talk to me, and give me like real ass advice about like mentality and stuff, and
And
yeah.
things you can work with, not just like
yeah.
abstract advice. Yeah.
And then I forgot what I did at Full Bloom. Oh yeah. After that talk, I literally like just 3-0'd my K's and 3-0'd Lucky, and then like I lost the junior game 5, but like that was the best I've ever played at that time. Period. Like hands down, that was the best I ever played.
Yeah. Seriously.
At that time.
Well, we're seeing you ascend to new heights, and hopefully this will be like, hopefully I'm interviewing the pound champion.
Hopefully. Yeah.
We'll see. Yeah.
I'm gonna grind so hard for that.
All right.
Like actually.
All right. Best of luck. Awesome to see you here, and thank you guys for checking in on it for
Good night, everyone.
hanging out with us. All right. Have a good night.